So it's time for the new Kria boss fight. We shall have a look and see how this whole fight works and the mechanics and whatnot. And important to note here, one thing I wasn't able to find out is accursed shackles. When under control, different CC effects will reduce different attributes. I have no idea what does what. I don't know what slow reduces. I don't know if immobilize does the same as slow or something else. I don't know if freeze does something better than immobilize. I couldn't tell you, and these accursed shackles might very well be the thing that unlocks this boss fight for more players. But yeah, on with the vid. Alright, yeah, so this is our updated team. We just put in Yova while taking out Morrigan. Let's talk a bit about what we learned and how this boss fight works after us playing a couple fights of it. So, important to note, it does not matter how much range you have, you can hit the boss anyway. So for example, us placing our hex outside there still hits the boss. The same way us placing a Silas out there also helps. And as far as I can tell, placing your units outside should be beneficial because you have like a chance to hit these crows while they wait in front of the altars. And then let's just get the rest of our units in. There we go. Okay, so different crows have different effects. If you kill a red crow, all your units gain increased attack. If you kill a yellow crow, all your units gain increased attack speed. And if you kill a green crow, all your units gain HP and gain rage. This is how the crows work, and what the crows do is they fly left, right, left, right, left, right, collecting these unholy trinity flames. These flames always work in a rotation. The rotation should be yellow, green, red, yellow, green, red. If I'm not wrong, we'll check it right here once we get to the next flame part. So 4 yellow flames, come on, either kill them or don't. Yeah, unholy trinity, yellow, and then green. Yeah, so it goes yellow, green, red. And the flames have the reverse effect of what the birds do. So a red flame does AoE damage and reduces your hero's attack. A yellow flame does AoE damage and reduces your hero's attack speed. While a green flame does AoE damage, applies a continuous damage over time effect indicated by the poison icon, and then also reduces your hero's rage gained. Yeah, deals damage to all heroes, deals damage to all heroes. Exactly. So the most dangerous by far is the green flames, as you see. And then here, what you can do is you can kill the boss before, like while 6 flames are active, and you then kill the boss. I think it stops the effect from happening at all, but it is pretty finicky because you would have to wait for the 6th flame to get collected and then time it in a way that the last crow dies so that the whole effect doesn't happen. Yeah. So like for example, it's really tight timings because it does say, if you check out the monster manual, right here, Pitch Black, each time you cast an attack skill, she stains a gain of midnight. When reaching 4 stacks, you cast Pitch Black, clearing all heroes on the battlefield. I don't even know what that means. Yeah, to be fair, no idea, but it's this one. After the no. Feeding Frenzy, summon Dread Crows, penetration, 3 Dread Crows. Oh, I guess Pitch Black is just something else. To be fair, I haven't yet seen this whole clears all heroes on the battlefield shenanigan happen fully. I'm a bit unsure what that's like meant to be, clearing all heroes on the battlefield. But yeah, the crow effects, once again, red crow more attack, yellow crow more attack speed, and green crow healing plus rage regen, while the reverse is true for the flames. Red flames less attack plus attack damage, green flames AoE damage, less rage, and the like, and then with the yellow crow you obviously gain the less attack speed after the AoE damage taken. So that's the Kria Codex. In some parts it's super random, like for example right here you can't really do a whole lot against against her doing the AoE damage while you don't kill any green crows. So yeah, I don't know, but hey, Hex is doing a good job. He's probably going to be able to kill this Redbird too, maybe. I don't know. Come on, you can do it. Ah, I think these are the midnight stacks. Interesting. So yeah, we've somehow survived. Couldn't quite tell you why, couldn't quite tell you how, and then time runs out. So yeah, we managed to get a S plus somehow. Damage wise, let's look at the damage split. So highest damage from Hex, also courtesy of him getting the invigoration or inspiration buff from the Wings of Grace set on Beelzebub. Then we have Silas. After that we got Anora, Beatrix, because Beatrix's summons, the good part about Beatrix's summons, not only does she have this long range for 2 tiles, so she can hit 2 different bird lanes, but her summons also obviously fly around the map and help out with dealing damage, while then also still attacking the boss when that boss then eventually summons in. And then we got Anora and Yova doing their thing. So yeah, I also played around a bit with Lady Alex, but I guess it kind of once again feels like it's a hero awakening issue that would like take us over the edge. So 2 things we're now gonna still do for the end of this video is I'll be trying to get a triple S score, and we'll be trying out 2 heroes. We'll see if maybe the poison comp under Nastier works, and we'll also see if Ingrid has any space here. Alright, so conclusion about an Ingrid team. A Ingrid-led Watcher Curse base hybrid doesn't seem to lead anywhere, with Lucius not quite getting the chance to go into his demon stance that often, with these units zipping in and out of his range, and Ingrid actually performing better in the AoE form than the single target form, but honestly not by much. So at least a Watcher-led Ingrid team doesn't quite seem to be the... Alright, now for a Praetus-led Arbiter team featuring Praetus, Alexandra, Ingrid and Pelagios. For those of you wondering if it's now Pelagios' time to shine, oh hell no, he's doing absolutely nothing. And yeah, let's see, maybe if we swap in a couple other units, maybe this Arbiter team can go a bit longer. Alright, now by redoing it a bit manually, also introducing Anora instead of Pelagios, this team is doing a bit better at like getting closer to 1 million. Like Praetus and Alex are doing really well, with Ingrid not quite being able to find a space for her to truly work, be it AoE or the single target form. And keep in mind, once again, these are all without any awakenings, so a Praetus at A1 is already massively stronger than a Praetus at A0. Alright, now for Nastia and her effect, I would say it's a decently well-performing team. You might be able to get to triple S if you were to get like more awakenings or tweak stuff a bit. Units that performed well, Beatrix does really well with the Nastia on the field. Anora with the more ultimates also starts to do more damage, and you can see that, yeah, we're getting there damage wise. Nastia is up there, Vaughn is doing alright, and Boreas is pretty much there for AoE clearance. But let's see if maybe if we add in another single target unit, maybe we'll get a higher score. So we swapped out Boreas for Vaughn, while also... Alright, so we swapped out Boreas for Hex. Hex obviously now here the highest damage dealer, even without affection, with Beatrix and Nastia still doing quite well, and Nora has lost out a bit. And the reason why one dropped so much is because he wasn't in inspiration range any longer. And yeah, honestly, the most important part here is, even though it says AoE is important, there's only so much AoE you're going to need, because there's only 6 enemies on the field at all times, and also most of the time 3 on both sides. So at maximum, if you're hitting with AoE damage, you're hitting 3 instead of 1 target. So I don't think AoE is that important. All right, time to come to our conclusion. As you can see, we did manage to reach SSS. Overall, we also reached it with 2 different teams, or not really different teams, but one of them featuring Honora, one of them featuring Lady Alex. The one with Lady Alex is by far the safer team, probably also the one we're going to have the auto footage on. So let's just let the SSS run in the background now. Let me talk about my experience with the boss. So overall, it's super random, because it heavily depends on when the green crows die. If the green crows die in an optimal way for you, you're able to heal against, for example, the green wave, right? The green explosion with the reduced rage, with the extra poison symbols on top. So depending on when certain birds die, specifically the green ones, you can get yourself an advantage, you could say. Then also sometimes your units are able to kill the boss shortly before she summons the Holy Trinity, which is like the best, because you then completely skip out on that action. Or better said, kill the last crow as soon as like that 6th one is collected. Yeah, it's a bunch of RNG. But now let's talk about the heroes that are going to be almost essential, at least from the way I can see it. You're not going to be able to get rid of Beelzebub, because Beelzebub is the only hero who can inspire more than 1 tile, right? He's the only inspiration source who can inspire more than once, and he also brings vulnerability as well as slows to the table, so you're having an easier time to deal with the birds. Outside of that, the perfect unit to go alongside of Beelzebub is going to be Beatrix. Beatrix attacks the whole lane, so most of the time you're better off using single target units, but Beatrix, because of her summons that fly around the whole map, and also her AoE then hitting 2 birds at the same time, Beatrix is by far the strongest unit when it comes to the AoE damage here. And she works incredibly well with Beelzebub, because Beelzebub not only has the ability to heal her, but also when he does his ultimate, he summons these flies, and these flies then enhance the attack speed of Beatrix's summons even further, allowing her to do more damage. So I would probably describe Beatrix and Beelzebub together as like the engine who makes this work, and the rest is kind of like either another AoE unit and then just raw single target, which you see in the stats right here. Also sometimes Hex just deals more. So yeah, overall Hex's most important awakening is by far the A3, because what the A3 allows Hex to do is it allows him to perma ult. So every time he goes out of his ult, his next ult is already ready. And obviously a Sutra of Kappa's exclusive is what really increases that damage even further. Yeah, so as you can see, this was the same run, we just cut short a little. We've completely overshot the score even by up to 800,000, and main contributors performance wise, again, Hex doing around 50 million more, Silas also with this incredible damage, and then the rest also picking up the slack. So yeah, that is pretty much this codex. I don't think there's a lot more to say. There's probably a lot more to like check out building wise or build wise, but yeah, it's a really chaotic fight. It is a really chaotic fight, and it doesn't even feel like you're in control. And it's also one of these times where you can probably get away with like having some better auto timings, or like some better ult timings to get a certain scenario that is favorable, but this 3 million score, right? We set that on full auto, and especially with, for example, Hex spamming his ultimate, Beelzebub spamming his ultimate, Beatrix spamming her ultimate, there isn't all that much that you could be doing differently anyway. And yeah, it's an interesting codex. There's probably going to be more than just one team that can get 2.2 million. But again, it's less of an AoE codex than initially thought. It's really more of a single target with AoE flavor in Beatrix and Beelzebub. So yeah, there we go. Okay, 216 left, 2.3. Let's see if we can figure out why the score went so high. Everybody's still alive, it's always a good sign. There's the attack bonus. And then here we have to hope that we kill these green birds before we get one of like the killer phases. There we go, yep, perfect. So we were able to kill the birds before they imploded. And now, yep, now we're in the poison phase, and then probably the next one. Oh, with the double birds. Yeah, as you see, for example, here we just had really good RNG, allowing us to still stay alive here. So yeah, maybe HP builds even aren't the way, because none of these characters are truly built for HP. And yeah, this is the new codex, and we see each other in the next one. Peace.